How you doing, guys? Today I am starting my pilgrimage back to YouTube. Just been a busy period of time, I'm sure, just like all of you. I actually work a corporate job. If you didn't know, I don't do small engines or any of that stuff for a living. So the months of December and January tend to be just really jam-packed with work, with year-end reporting and giving performance appraisals and corporate crap. But I'm sure that's exactly or very similar, working your finger to the bone, all of you have been doing too. Hope your holiday season was good. I spent my time in Florida with my in-laws. It was a wonderful time. It was a disaster going down. It was a disaster light coming back. At least I wasn't entangled in the Southwest issue. It's just the big storm that had hit the day before Christmas Eve. Really just kind of screwed up all our flights going down. But we made it back. It's all good. Been playing with my bucket list item. I haven't put that video out yet. I'm working on it. I'm also not in a rush to do it, only because it's complete, utter different content than what's on the channel, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm going to change the content of this channel. We do small engines, we play with grease, and sorry to the environmentalists out there, it's not very environmentally safe, so it's fun. With that being said, RJ35, update on that today. I did speak with the owner a couple days ago. He hasn't had a whole lot of good luck finding a motor, and I have gotten to a point now where I'm starting to think of selling a lot of stuff. I'm not going to get out of the hobby or anything like that, but I got to be realistic. I got so many projects on the shelf that I say I'm going to get to. I kind of throw it out there to the world of YouTube, saying I'm going to get to it, and I never do. And that's just because of timing and just the lack of it, just the lack of timing. So decided to sell. He had asked, I had talked back and forth. I have a bunch of Clinton engines, so I'm going to ultimately sell one to him. We're going to put the engine together, put it on his tractor, get it all up and running. So today we'll go out to the shed, we'll collect that motor. We're not necessarily going to start it today, start working on it, but we'll go out there, or pull it out, take a look at it. Also, the 2023 Wheel Horse show. I know it's early, man. It's like, middle of January or so, something like that. But it's the 25th anniversary of the Wheel Horse show in Ardensville, Pennsylvania. Featured tractors an RJ58. So when we go out to the shed for the motor, we'll take a look at the tractor that I am about 98% sure I'm going to take. So we'll go take a look at that. That's coming up. We're going to have to pull it out, tune it all up, get it all going. We won't even get into it right now. But take a look at that. Take a look at the RJ. And we'll just get going like we always do. Beautiful New England weather. Freezing cold, a lot of wind. Just the way I like it. Anyways, what we have here is a B1290. This motor is the motor that we're going to go ahead and put together and tune up for the RJ35. It's actually in really, really good shape. I bought this motor maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I have a tape on there. It says it's got a 20 over piston. The bolts need to be looked at, which means I got to torque it, and I did that back on May 18th, 2016. So I've had this motor for a while. I had it a couple years even before I kind of did a looky at it. But overall, it's in real good shape. Got to get a governor arm for it. Not a big deal. We'll clean up the crankshaft. Got to get rid of the blue Permatex for the oil pan. Like I said, none of the tins are going to be used. The Fairbanks is not going to be used. We're going to take all the parts from the other motor, swap it over. We're also going to take the carburetor off the original motor, put it on. We're going to have to check the breather on this, and then it doesn't have an ignition wire, so we're going to have to dig into the ignition. This does have a Type 2. I believe I may have snaked the coil out of it. That's why it doesn't have an ignition wire. I might have taken the coil out of this motor and put it in another motor. In any event, doesn't matter. on the basis that I have all those parts in stock ready to go. We got a head gasket, so we're going to go ahead and bring this engine into the garage real quick, and we'll take a closer look at it. For the Wheel Horse show, I'm actually going to dig my 1959 RJ59 out. I literally have not started this tractor and the engine for that matter. I can't even remember. I think the last time this ran was when I did the video on the channel, which has got to be at least 10 years ago, maybe longer. So we'll go over this whole tractor, how I got it, the whole historical thing about this tractor. As you can see, one of the front tire went poopy on me a couple years ago. It's been sitting on the wood right there for a couple years. I got the tire and the rim in the garage. It's literally been sitting in the garage for like 2 years, but this is for a later date. But we will have to get all this junk out of the way and get the RJ out. It does have a sickle bar, a front mount sickle on it right now. I'm going to take that off. I'm not going to take it to the show with the front mount sickle. So we'll have to work on that eventually. The little mule, I didn't even start the little mule up last year, so really should probably pull that out and start it up. And this one here, I mean, I've run this one a bunch of times, so no big deal. And oh yeah, my favorite, the rug. All right, moving on. Let's get this thing into the garage. Okay, let's just do a quickie exploded view of this engine. As you can see, I just took the basics off. I took all the tins off, got the flywheel off. It actually wasn't even torqued into place, and I pulled the head off. Taking a look at everything here, we have a Type 2 ignition. We are missing the ignition wire, so we'll have to put that on. I haven't been inside this points area in years, so we'll have to take this all apart, clean everything, get all the rust off it. No big deal there. We're definitely going to have to pull the pan off, clean all that blue RTV out of the way. The bearing cover is in mint shape. There's no issues there. As you can see, this is a 20 over piston, so somebody at some point in time bored and honed it. The valves look mint. They look brand new. We're not even going to take those out. We'll just clean them up. Whoops. Inside here, the little poppers in there, the valves all look good, so we're just going to leave that. I am going to have to dig through my parts bin and get a big long style, or a governor arm. We'll have to find a link. We'll steal the carburetor and maybe the link off the other engine. We're going to go ahead and clean the crank, make sure the keyway's all nice, leave the seals fine, everything up here is fine. The threads in the motor look fine. Actually, can I turn this down? Yeah, you can see, good enough. Still has hone in there. The piston is ridiculous. You can hear it even. You can hear the breather hissing out air. It's in great shape. This engine's going to run real nice. This is going to be a real solid motor. One thing I wanted to show you. You can see the diameter of a 1290 crank. This is the 1200 crank. You can see how substantially smaller this is. And when you put a Shinaki on these small 1200 style cranks, this is what happens. You can even see the little chip right there where this thing was twisted it off. Because you got to remember, it turns it, does it turn it counterclockwise or clockwise? No, it turns it clockwise because the PTO goes counterclockwise. So every time you're pulling on a Shinaki on the nut, it's twisting it in this direction. And when we look at that, you can just see how that just snapped right off. So definitely a 1290 is the best style motor to run a Shinaki on with that big nut. And plus, like I said with the other engine, they had over torqued the Shinaki nut on there because the flywheel's cracked. We do have a Type 2 style flywheel, big, thick, beautiful. Everything there is mint. Oh, and then the head looks, head's dirty. Just needs to be chiseled and cleaned, and a new head gasket. That'll be fine. We'll get a new spark plug. We'll put oil in it. We'll start it up on the engine stand like we do all the motors. And yeah, I think it'll be nice. Oh, the only thing we're going to have to work on, we'll have to get that exhaust out of the original motor because he wants to keep it all patinaed. So we'll work on that. We got to get the pulley off the motor. What else? We got to take a couple little tidbitty parts off this one. We may take the 1200 head off this one. I don't know yet, but got some parts that we need to strip off this motor. We have a general tune-up and kind of like once over on the motor. So a couple little things and we'll get this RJ35 back up and running. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. And the reason for that ask of you all is because I haven't been on YouTube for the last, like, what, 6 weeks or so. The algorithm has pushed all my videos to the bottom of the searches. Not that I make money. I mean, I make a little bit of money doing this, but it's not, trust me, it's not a windfall. But I really do appreciate if you could please subscribe and like the video, so that way it helps me out and gets my videos kind of back up to the top of the list when it comes to RJs and wheel horses. That would be much appreciated. That was my fault. That's because of me not putting up videos for weeks. But if you can help me out, that would be great. And if you would be so kind to ring the bell, so that way when my next video comes up, you can at least contemplate whether or not you wanted to watch some mediocre entertainment. All right. Hope all has been well with each and every single one of you. Thank you very much for all your support over the years. 2022 was a great year for the channel, a lot of growth. So I really, really do appreciate all of that. And with that, until we meet again. Oh, geez, I don't even remember what I said. Oh, that's right. Man, I'm a mess. Until the next project, all of you have a great day.